other thing. It's very funny. It's like, it's a massacre of utility. They don't care. I mean, the managing director, I was crossing by the street yesterday, walking because we have 1 hour to walk, and I found the managing director of Bilbao Water Consortium just coming out of the most expensive building in Bilbao. So the public sector, they live even much better than with the business persons that create utility. So this is how it is all evolving. They are not sharing the security, they are not sharing the overheads, the refits, they are not sharing like in telephone companies that is 1 meter for a worker or 2 meters now for a worker or 3 meters for a worker. Now here we have 50,000 buildings, and this is why I wanted to make this video. So by touching associations, and everywhere I go I see deficiencies, and this is really a great disadvantage, or it's sometimes a great advantage. I don't know. If no one listens to this, no one learns from this, then probably it's a huge disadvantage. But if someone perhaps thinks, well, he or she has found this deficiency in the articles, in the statutes, in the elections, in the transparency, in the way to digitally do better the associations, like in sharing the cost. Why do they have 4 security guards if they can do with 1? Why did they do a refit of the building for 4 million if it can be for 1.5, which they finally got? Why didn't they send all these budgets of refits to the proprietors? Why did they not do this digital annual general meeting? Why did I run for president? Why did they not even reply? Because perhaps I would start asking for compliance of all the previous contracts, fiscal compliance, contract compliance, law compliance, transparency compliance. I would ask for this kind of certifications. Perhaps I would have not gotten these certifications, because it is not normal that if you budget for a refit of a building, lifting of a building, 4 million, taking away 3-centimeter granite. Amazing. This is working here. Yes, people are poor in Spain because the public overspend so much. They don't share the costs at all of all these buildings. And this is simply an excuse to occupy the building and put a lot of workers there, which then it's an excuse to multiply times 3 all the refits, which is an excuse then to maintain these 50,000 buildings, which is an excuse to have them do something, because really they have nothing to do in these digital times. We can vote digital. Our association can be a democratic association. Yes, perhaps I will do a video about that. It is interesting how we develop research and development, and we eliminate this virus of the public institutions in the private buildings. And then I hope you really like very much this video. I have a lot of many more things to talk about this, and how we can reduce the maintenance. For example, I am paying 35,000 euros this year. Yes, I am not crazy. I am paying this for the refit. I am watching how they take away the granite. I even took some photos you can see in LinkedIn. Now they have taken away all the granite. They have eliminated, all the floor and the ceiling, everything. I'm not saying that it could have been really modernized the building. I'm not saying that, because indeed it had to. One of the areas was the health of the workers. There must be doors that are automatic so that we don't have to touch. There must be some cards that we can pass. But the Bilbao Water Consortium, they want to use this building like if it was theirs. They already bought 30 of the building, so that's why they have control. They have some partners that are private. Why? You ask them why they have been there for 25 years. I would really very much love to see all the contracts and who signed what, because it is really a conflict of interest that if you are a president of an association, which you represent the humans department of the Bilbao Water Consortium, you have real no part in this building. So you are not an owner. So how can an owner be a president? And how can an owner not be a president? This is very funny how when we express our conflicts of interest regarding if I am paying this extra 30,000 euros, if I pay 500 euros for water and everybody uses my water, and if I pay, let's say, 50,000 euros for the administrator of the building, and I have a proposal of 25,000 since 3 years ago, why they did not change? Why is it so much mafia? It's very simple. And then you cannot go against this, the justice, because then it is another building you're fighting with. So it's like the war of the buildings. And this is the war we have to do, the communication. You, young person, must understand who is in the association. You must understand what is the interest of the association, which is that the building, it earns more investment return, rate of return, so that we investors then get more money in the long term, and that the expenses are cut at the maximum. Of course, if your partner is inutile and expenses and costs so much, and they have a conflict of interest from the labor point of view, from the not being owners and really not caring about Bilbao Water, how much its citizen pays for the water, because I believe the budget for the council is 550 million. I believe the budget for the water consortium is 220. Well, I could very fast, if they could share the buildings like the council, probably then we would not have to pay water for the next 100 years. Oh gosh, is this true? Could it be the case? Then imagine about the other, like say, cost that we are paying for in the council. It is really a problem that they have, because their sons and their daughters are going to listen to this video. And these are millennials. And the millennials will ask themselves, why did we have in 2008 a huge crisis? I can tell you, because those public guys enter into the private world and they cost a lot of conflict of interest, and they cost 3 times more, and they cost 200 billion more. And there is nothing you can do to solve this, because they will put all the money in the press and they will create a conflict of interest, and they will buy the press, and then you will never find out what is going on, and then you will pay more for water, for council, for water, for council, until they will get all the future out of you millennial. So you can really write comments here of this association, because if you start defending my building, then you are defending the rest of the buildings in Spain. And people must know what we are suffering in these associations. I'm still waiting. 2 months ago, the email I sent to the president saying that there is a conflict of interest. I can manage digitally this association of the Alvia building. I can manage transparently communicating all the owners. This video is a proof. I could have made a video of president of the building explaining everybody an agenda of all the points. You could write it here, and then you could transparently find out how we could make savings, how we can improve the quality, how we can digital this building, how we can reduce the environment, how we can reduce the cost of the building, how we can improve even the work, because we are in need for people to our office. Perhaps other offices in the building have gone bankrupt. Perhaps we could employ them. Who knows? There is huge amount of new ideas about buildings, and perhaps this digital building association could be worldwide. And this is what I'm looking after. So whenever I enter into these associations, it's really fun for me because I happen to see everything. I happen to find the solutions everywhere. And then I happen to think how we could choose this. Perhaps it happens that one day I'm not here, and perhaps it happens that one day you are here, and then perhaps it creates intrinsic value towards buildings in the world, and then this improves the health and improves the income and improves the investment and improves the world. And that's really this association. So whenever I make these association videos, it is really unfortunate that I happen to see things that others don't see. And I hope that with these 21 minutes, 2 videos we are going to make out of this, I hope that in the future or in the present, perhaps you even saw this as well as me, and perhaps you even laugh also, and positively be positive, act, and solve these situations towards that the light goes on. Thank you. Goodbye.